So when we're tracking tornadoes and the Weather Service goes out and does those damage surveys, every time that storm lifts and drops a new tornado, it counts as a new tornado, all right? So in Sequoyah County last Friday, we had one storm move through, but the latest from the Weather Service, this was just released a few minutes ago, suggests there was actually 4 different touchdowns. The longest tornado was in Vian. This was going to be our EF1. It lifted very briefly, dropping a second tornado north of I-40, north of 64 there, just to the west side of Sallisaw. Lifted again, dropped to the east side of Sallisaw. So we've technically got 2 Sallisaw tornadoes there. And that same storm actually dropped another tornado, the 4th one, just north of Roland. We called that the Liberty tornado. The same storm did something very similar in Crawford County. Technically, one of them actually dropped on the Sebastian County side, right on top of the banks of the Arkansas River. That was an EF0, lifted really quickly just in the port of Van Buren there. Of course, we've talked a lot about that EF1 there that moved south side of the hospital, Baptist Health, through the Van Buren Housing Authority. That was the EF1 that caused a lot of the damage. And then it did drop a third EF0. So for the count for last Friday, we're up to 7 tornadoes. Weather Service is continuing to do more survey work. In fact, I believe we're probably going to inevitably hear something about southern Washington County, northern Crawford, from Devil's Den over through Artist Point, maybe even to Madison County damage there as well. A lot of damage for them to get through. It's meticulous work, but they are giving us those updates as they receive them. We'll pass those along to you. I know you're curious about that. Here's the setup this evening. High pressure is going to keep us nice and quiet, but our next storm system lurking in the desert southwest. That area of low pressure this high also going to be tracking off towards the east. That allows that low to move our direction. As it does, it is going to bring some rain chances back to the forecast. Most of tomorrow's probably going to end up being dry for us, but by the second half of the day, especially along and south of I-40, we'll probably end up seeing some scattered showers. Wouldn't rule out 1 or 2 northwest Arkansas. Odds are just going to be a little bit lower. This is 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. You got a hit or miss shower out there. Not generally a big deal. It's going to become more widespread overnight into your Thursday. A lot of on and off rain expected between Thursday, Friday, slowly tapering off going into this weekend. Here's early Thursday morning. You got a few scattered showers out there, some heavy downpours kind of mixing in there from time to time. By Thursday afternoon, we get that daytime heating. We'll probably see more of those thunderstorms developing, those lifting towards the north, moving throughout the area. This is probably what we're going to see on radar as well on Friday afternoon into Friday evening. You get that daytime heating to really work with that low and all that humidity that's going to be surging into the area. Better rain chances there. When you add it all up, we're still pretty much on track, 1 to 2 inches. Inevitably, somebody out there is going to get less than an inch. Somebody out there is going to make me a liar and get about 3 inches, right? Some of the latest data suggests parts of LaFleur, southern Sebastian, maybe even parts of Scott County may be included in that 3-inch zone right there. Good news is, not expecting much in the way of severe weather. Can't rule out 1 or 2 pesky storms briefly pulsing up and becoming marginally severe, but when it comes to organized severe weather risk, none in the forecast right now. Your 10-day forecast for northwest Arkansas is 20% chance tomorrow. It's going to be warm. It's going to be muggy out there, 88 the high temperature, but with more widespread rain expected on Thursday and Friday, well, temperatures are going to be a little bit lower. And that's a little bit deceiving, though, because the humidity is going to be so high. It's still not necessarily going to feel the most comfortable out there. When it comes to the weekend rain chances, they're there, but as that low pressure slides away, we'll see fewer of those showers, fewer of those thunderstorms. Going into next week, temperatures rebound back into the low 90s. They'll stay there. And you know what? That darn pesky humidity, it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, it just kind of hangs around.
That is summer next week.
Yeah, it's going to feel like it for sure. Transition's the word of the night, right? This is that slow transition from spring to summer, and you see a lot of those 20% chances. It's just that time of the year you start to get those pop-ups in the afternoon that fizzle out once the sun sets.
It all goes away.
All goes away. Yeah.